What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Nick Williams Show. I'm Nick Williams. I'm an independent filmmaker and producer north of Boston. And today joining me are the co-founders of Seapoint Studios from Maine.
Yep. Get your Maine.
Jacob and John.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Nick.
Thank you so much.
Of course, not a problem. So I do kind of like to get the boring crap out of the way first. So who are you, where you from, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. So,
Either one. Go ahead. Or both at the same time.
Well, it's easy because we're both from the same place. We both grew up in...
Pull it in a little bit
yeah,
closer.
here
A little
we
bit. There you go. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
We're both from Kittery Maine.
Cool.
Yeah, so right on the border of New Hampshire and Maine. Kind of almost identify as both a Mainer and a New Hampshireite. But
Makes sense.
yeah, I mean, we grew up together. I met John when I was like 5 on the bus.
Yep.
And we spent our entire childhood in school together. And yeah, I mean, I just love Maine. It's my home state. I left for a little while to go to school in Colorado, and I came back because I loved it so much.
For college?
Yeah, I went to college for computer science.
Interesting.
I wanted to go originally into video game design.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I kind of started doing some game design work and realized how much time it takes. And I felt like I couldn't creatively see like a whole project through. And so video is kind of where I had pivoted to. But I'm professionally,
Video is so much easier.
It's not.
Yeah.
But you're right. But anyway, I went to college. I came back. My partner, she goes to Dartmouth, did grad school there. So we got to come back home, my family, and then I've been working mostly, like my day-to-day is post-production.
Nice.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't know that, but I have been like searching to have an editor on because that's how I got my start. So
There we go. We'll talk after the show, I guess.
Definitely, yeah. No, that's cool. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, John.
Mr. John?
Yeah.
Unless you have more. We can go
I'll
more
get
in depth.
into it later.
We got plenty of time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm John Bono. Like Jacob said, we grew up together. So we've been friends forever, basically. When we were, I guess it would have been, was it in middle school or high school we started doing like kind of dumb little...
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Films.
Everything we do now, it's his fault. He got a GoPro for his, 14th birthday?
Something like that, yeah.
And that changed the game for us.
Yeah. So we used to, it was
Do
just...
you mind me asking? Like, how old are you guys?
I'm 26.
Okay.
We're both
26.
26.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So you got the GoPro.
Yeah, so we had a GoPro and we would just kind of screw around, having
off
fun,
bridges.
filming, everything. It wasn't like necessarily like we were making a film or anything. It was just like having fun
You
shooting
weren't
everything.
making like cinema in 7th grade. Okay.
I mean, it felt like
we
cinema.
started to at some point. So there were a few times where we had, it was like, hey, we have this project that we have to do. Everybody else is like making a physical thing or writing something.
I was the same
It's
way.
like,
Talk
could
about Lord of the
we
Flies?
make a video instead? And
Yeah.
we're like, I guess, sure. So
Which project was this?
yeah, Lord of the
Lord of
Flies.
the Flies, yeah. The
Yep.
7th grade.
Sick.
Grade.
Yeah, that was 7th
Sick
grade.
one to make
Yeah.
a movie of. That would be cool. That must have been fun.
Yeah. So we've done a couple of things like that, and then it kind of just started to grow into us actually putting some effort into it and
What was so
finding things
you
out.
went for computer science? What did you go to college? I
Yep.
didn't, so no judgment. But
Yeah, no, I went to the University of Southern Maine.
okay, for film.
No, I went for mechanical engineering, and I now am a manufacturing engineer. So I'm not full-time within film,
Right.
but it's definitely a passion and something that I love to do.
That something you're working toward. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
And it's also really nice that what I do as a day job is very different than what I do for fun within film, because one is very analytical and
Surprised
that
you
type
used
of thing.
fun as a word.
And well,
I torture it.
it's different, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
film is you have a lot more creativity and you can be imaginative in different ways, and that's a lot of fun. And you get to not even within film, but I just love building things and working on things. And
Sure. Makes sense.
it's the same thing with film. You get to come
Make
up with
something
some
out of
idea,
nothing.
and then
Yeah.
you get to see it
Yeah.
come to life. And
That's sick.
I mean, it's
So-
really helpful, honestly, because John's like the jack of all trades and like the fix-it guy. When we're on set or like we're doing pre-production, because he has a mechanical engineering background, he's like, yeah, I'll just build it.
That's sick.
I'll just build the prop. I'll just, make a bunch of sandbags in like 2 minutes out of nothing. He's like the MacGyver. And
Yeah.
It's super handy to have.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, so you do a lot of post production. So with regard to like, we have to get into like the nitty gritty, like business side of things. We can if you want to, but like, what do you guys both? So you do just post production, or do you do like the camera work too? Do you produce stuff? Who's the writer?
So
How do you make stuff up?
Seapoint Studios.
Yeah, what is it?
I
Give me
guess
the
we'll
rundown.
pivot into what Seapoint Studios is.
Well, because how
Yeah.
old is it? How did you decide to create that as
Yeah.
a entity together?
So
I was always told don't do business with family or friends.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to be making it work, which is not, this is not a dig at you. I think it's great, but
that's really funny. We've been through that. I don't want to get into all those details. We've been through that experience with like, who is right to work with and who isn't.
Sure.
Generally, right, you hear a lot about like creative differences and stuff like that. And when you get into a situation with that with somebody, it can be a challenge. But when you have lived by somebody's side like your whole life,
well, I'm sure for between the two of you, it's
yeah.
like yin and yang. Like you
Exactly.
guys just kind of speak each other's language. And,
right?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
easy. Right?
I pretty much grew up at his house.
Sure, but
you
how
know,
does a
like, it was
mechanical?
very-
Let's be honest here, though. Sorry, my
no,
mind
yeah.
only works
Yeah.
one way. I gotta understand. We gotta break it down like I'm stupid. So you have a mechanical engineer and a computer science major who wanted to start a film studio.
Yeah,
A little.
that's
like,
exactly right.
how does that happen?
Well,
again, it's very interesting.
If you like look at like if you want to break it down like that, he's the business director.
Okay.
I'm the creative director.
Okay.
Now, operationally, we riff off each other in
Right.
every which way possible.
Of course.
But
This isn't like a who's better than who. I'm trying to figure out who does what. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of it is on my end just because I'm full time in film and video production.
Sure.
And he's not. Not to say though that he doesn't do more work. He does a lot of behind the scenes work.
Oh yeah. No.
That I think
I've
I
also
wouldn't be
started
able
a company, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. Like, believe me,
Right.
there's definitely
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I'm sure. That's crazy.
But when we started Seapoint, it was when we were at the beginning of college. So we were still figuring out what we were doing. And it's interesting because we have our careers and we have the studio. So not to say that the studio isn't a full-time thing for us, but it's kind of like we have two full-time jobs.
Okay.
In a way. Would you say that's accurate? Or would you describe it differently?
Yeah, I mean, it's evolved since we started it. It was like, so we were just into college, right? Like,
Yeah, it was 2018. So we graduated
Yeah.
high school in
Where did
2017.
you go? Oh, you went to University of Southern Maine,
Yeah.
correct.
and
Yeah.
you went to Colorado,
I went to University of Colorado Boulder.
and you started a film company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here. While I was in Colorado. I know it's confusing. We were shooting. So originally, when we started Seapoint, we wanted to bring kind of all of the fun and knowledge that we had learned about in high school and prior to that to the Seacoast. We wanted to bring, I think our slogan was like the best cinematography on the Seacoast. And so we wanted to bring commercial video production that we hadn't seen before to our area. So we were, and we've always been about, and we still are, about local businesses, about local artists and filmmakers, and celebrating that and focus on that. So we went around to local businesses and people we'd known because we'd been there our whole lives, and kind of put feelers out, see what people wanted for video production. I think it was a text or something that I had sent out that was like, "Hey, what? I think we should make a studio. I think we should try and do something with this passion for video production that me and him, but also our group of friends at the time had." And so we went out and we got our first gig at the Portsmouth Gaslight
Yep.
in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
It's a nice spot. I've been there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great. I know the owner.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
At this
you're
point, I
right.
would hope so.
Yeah, my brother actually knew the owner, and so we got in touch. And then
That's cool.
we did, I think, a couple videos for them, but really one big one Our first budgeted video with rental equipment, everything, and it was
Coolest
it was a
feeling in the world.
hit. Yeah, it was great. If you go there now and you go into the Gaslight through the front entrance, you'll still see our video playing on a loop on their TV,
That's sick.
which is really cool. And
That
so,
is really cool.
yeah, we had this concept because they wanted to like showcase their whole venue, and they have not just a restaurant on the main floor. They also have a pizza parlor in the basement, and they have a back
Like an outdoor patio.
patio bar
Yeah.
where they have live music and stuff, and they have a nightclub on their third floor. So they wanted to encapsulate all this into a 90-second. And we're like, okay, how do we do this? So we came up with this concept of putting the camera like through the building. You know, like you drop down through the floor. It's using like visual effects to kind of do that.
Sure.
And so we
you
did
didn't
it.
cut a hole in the ground.
No, we didn't cut a hole. It would have been cool if we cut a hole in the ground, but no, we didn't. But you know, we were on ladders and like 3 a.m, like trying to do crazy camera movements. It had its moments.
Yeah.
when did you make this? When was that?
This would have been 2018. I think.
2018. That was fall 2018.
And
yeah.
were you saying like you were Seapoint Studios at that point?
Yeah, that's when we founded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's when
First
we became
client.
an LLC.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's grown from there, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, we had a. Wait, why don't you
Hiatus.
say? Why don't you say? I don't want to talk too much.
No, it's okay. So we did that commercial and we started thinking like, you know, this is cool, but maybe we could move into more of like actual film and like indie
Artsy,
film.
you know?
Yeah, something like that. So we ended up getting reached out to by a writer at the time, Rachel Thomas.
Aspiring director.
Right.
Yeah.
So we ended up working with her. She had a script that she had written. I believe that she had submitted it like just in the writing form and gotten some recognition for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
she had some
wanted-
festivals like that gave her some awards for her screenplays.
Right.
So
So
And so you, at this point, up until like, there's nothing. I'm not downplaying anything that you guys have done, but you have to understand, obviously, like when you're brand new, nobody
Right.
knows who you are.
Correct.
And if you're doing a lot of commercial work, that's a rarity to have a writer reach out to you and say, "Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that part of it was that she reached out, she saw our website. And this is where, and I'll keep coming back to this, is the fact that our backgrounds in computer science and mechanical engineering are very valuable in film. I had built a website, a custom website, and it was doing well online, and she saw it. And that's what got the lead. And she reached out. And I mean, at this point in time, we hadn't done any official paid film work, but we had done a lot of, we had done the 2 Maine Outdoor Film Festival shorts.
Sure.
Yep.
Prior to Seapoint Studios, which were well received. And so there was some, like, we were kind of working off of our personal projects for Seapoint, and we could be like, oh yeah, you know, we've done some film work, and we're new too. Is there anybody else that's up and coming that wants to work with us?
Right. So it was actually a really good fit because she had never made a film or had a film made before.
right."
So we kind of stepped through the process together, and we both learned off of each other. And overall, it went, I think, really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, with any film at any level, you're going to have issues and things like that, but it's just how you work through it and pull it together in the end. So,
That first film was called The Squirrels in the Attic.
Yep.
It premiered in Los Angeles, Film Invasion Los Angeles. It got a bunch of awards, including, I think, Outstanding Short Film for that festival. So, and then a bunch of first-time director awards. And so this is where we get into kind of what our roles are now. I was a producer on that, and John was. Who were you on the first one?
I was AD.
You were AD. Yeah, he was an AD. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So yeah, behind the scenes. And stuff.
Adds up.
Yeah, and I also sound off. I mean, like at that point, I was doing everything, and I mean to kind of like, you know, to this day, we're very fluid with our roles.
Of course.
You know, if I need to pick up sound for a day or something, I'll do it. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
because it's really about getting it done and being crafty, and that's how you work in low budget indie. You know,
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's this culture a little bit of like across the indie film scene of everyone trying to make their set look like Hollywood as much as possible.
Yeah.
With you know what I mean? Like the kids with the headsets and all this, and you're like, do we need that? You know what I mean? Like, can we just make the movie. You
Yeah.
know,
At
which
some
is
point,
nice.
it's just overkill and it's not beneficial, right? So like,
It's really
you
hard
need-
to find
well, it
the
doesn't, it
line.
doesn't
You need to
actually make
find-
the movie any better.
No,
you know what I
Right.
mean.
You need to find a streamlined process. You need to make it
There's
as
the
like
mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
There it is.
simple and straightforward. That's what you need. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also like
I gotta ask. I gotta dig deeper on
Yeah.
this. How I'm a very creative person. My partner's a mechanical engineer, though, which I think is interesting. Not
That's
business.
interesting.
Yeah. But how, as a creative, do you deal with, like, how can you simple and streamline creativity?
That's why he's here.
Right.
To
Well, it makes
simple and
sense. So I
streamline
feel
me.
like so you're like always going out into the everything, and you're like reeling him back in. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just within like outside of film
God,
and
you
just
don't
like
even know.
general life,
Sure.
Jacob has like lots of
I want to do crazy.
yeah.
And you're like,
And,
but
like-
you might die.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even, yeah. I mean, maybe you do want to know, but like,
I want to know
he
everything.
has
Go
saved
for it.
my life. I don't even want to know how many times.
I can
Like, and
imagine.
I'm not even like sugarcoating that. Like, he has seriously, like, I would have done something like terrible if I hadn't thought through the method of how we're trying to figure something out.
Sure.
I mean, we're talking like there's been, we've covered almost car accidents, and he's like, hey, maybe we should think about this again. We have knives, and he's like, hey, maybe we should, when we're practicing, put a sheath on it. It's like all these other things. Yeah, it's just like because you're so focused on on the creative side of things, you're so focused on getting the shot.
I was gonna say you're so focused on nothing. Like
Right.
you're just like everything.
Yeah, right. And you're so focused. You're like, okay, this thing. And then when you have a million ideas in your head, you need somebody, and hopefully multiple people there, to just be like, this is the next step.
Right.
And this is the next step. And where in my head, it's not a linear line. It's like a squiggle. It's like a spider web. Of
Little
ideas.
shiny ball syndrome kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. At the same time, though, I'm sure that there are things that you didn't think that you would ever participate in that you have made him participate in.
Absolutely.
You know, which is good. Like, there's benefit to both.
Yes.
Honest to God, if you guys were both creative people, I can tell you right now, it probably wouldn't work. And if you were both mechanical engineers, like, you wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
You'd sit there and go, nope, that's dangerous. We're not going to do that. Or whatever it is, you know?
It's like we fill each other's holes because it's interesting.
yeah.
Because it's like, I don't think creativity, it's easy to boil it down, right? Like creativity, you're either creative or you're not. I don't think that's exactly how it is, in my opinion. I think you're
agree.
creative in some ways and technical in other ways.
All of us are creative in some ways and technical in other ways, you're saying.
Right.
Okay. yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so, like, maybe while John's designing something physical, he's able to use a creative part of him to do that or whatever. And for me, my creativity will come when I'm working in the edit and I'm trying to do a shot and I'm like, oh, hey, I can mask this little part here and make it work and force it to work, and like all these other little things. And so it's like a puzzle piece, and the little nub of my creativity like will fill John's hole. This sounds weird. And his
Yeah, when you
little
said you fill each
nub.
other's holes, I was like, okay.
I mean,
Listen, lifelong friends, whatever. No judgment, man.
Yeah, there's been things said.
From Maine. I don't know what you guys do up there.
Yeah, we're maniacs, right?
No, that's very interesting. It makes sense. I like that a lot. So, computer science editor,
Yeah,
Premiere or DaVinci?
both.
Interesting.
Both. Not Avid. I don't like Avid.
Nobody likes Avid.
Nobody likes Avid.
Nobody likes Avid.
I'm trying to move more into DaVinci. I don't want to
I'm
turn this into
strictly
post.
DaVinci. That's why.
I'm envious because I have a lot of work that I'm required to do in Adobe. So I'm kind
like
of
what? What do you mean?
I have a lot of clients that I work with that they will send me like Adobe files that I have to work off of.
And this
Okay.
this isn't like Seapoint. This
No,
is like,
yeah, I
So
work.
okay, so how much? So what do you do when you're not Seapoint?
I have a post production day job.
At a company, like you at work as an
Yes.
editor at a different company.
Yes, I do.
That's
That's
cool.
right. Sorry if I didn't clarify that earlier.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't know if you were Seapoint all day and then you were Seapoint at night, or Seapoint when they need legal. Like I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you're editor during the day.
Yeah,
then,
and I do work specifically with biotech companies
oh, okay.
and with private education schools and stuff
Very
like that, college,
It's interesting.
and
Probably very technical work.
healthcare. Those are
extremely
the three
technical work.
businesses.
Like it has to be correct,
Yeah.
creatively correct, though.
Right. And I think it's you know, and I don't want to get too much into that.
No,
but like
yeah.
I think it all plays off each other. My experience at Seapoint and my experience at my day job, they benefit each other.
Mm-hmm.
And same with John, I'd like to imagine, you know, the benefit that he gets. I mean, this is really interesting. At his previous employer, he they used us to film for his company. And so Seapoint.
Yep.
So Seapoint at us, and John worked there, was able to come in and we filmed these yearly videos for these COPD patients.
Yeah, we basically like it was a med tech company.
Sure.
So we like made a device and sold that, and we would have like once a year we would have one of our patients come in and they would give their story, and it would be like a night about them and a celebration. So for a few years, I guess every year when I was there, we would film that for them, and I mean that was a cool integration that I was able to make happen.
So you still both have, and this is not an attack; it's just an evaluation. So you still both have full-time jobs, and you both together collectively have the Seapoint stuff.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Is there like what are the plans for the future? Like how?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of plans for the future.
Sure. But, no,
I think the future of Seapoint is filmmaking.
Okay,
and
not commercial work,
not commercial
narrative work.
Yeah, we moved away from commercial work after we did our Gaslight commercial, and we had a couple other clients. I still and not to make it more complex, but I also freelance too, like from time to time doing, and I usually do that as like Seapoint, but sometimes it's just like I'm on my own, just doing my own thing.
Sure.
And so so I'll do some commercial things from time to time, but for the most part, like we really fell in love after Squirrels with doing movies, and we've been specifically indie film, and we've been more specific New England indie film.
I love that.
And we are so like utterly New England, like that's our passion. That's what makes Seapoint Studios. And by the way, Seapoint is named after Seapoint Beach in Kittery, Maine.
Sure.
Yep.
So where we grew up.
That's great.
Yeah.
My dad lives in Elliott. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's good stuff. Okay. So you made some shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you've done well with your shorts.
Yeah, we made The Squirrels in the Attic in the Company of Crows, Penny, Cult.
Who worked on Penny? I feel like I know people who
You
worked on
knew
Penny.
Brian McDonald.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah.
So he was on the show. And Brian's
Yes,
awesome.
he was a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw a clip of him at some point, and he's great.
He is great.
Penny, I love Penny so much. If you haven't got a chance to watch Penny, watch Penny.
Okay.
It's
in the email you sent.
It's in the email I sent you.
I will watch it.
That was our third film with Rachel Thomas as a director. She was directing.
Nice.
And we were producing. And that one was awesome. And that one, what I love about Penny is it was shot entirely in Maine.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked. So, I guess kind of a fun thing about maybe even all of the films that we've done with Rachel, but with Penny, I don't know, maybe I can't say this, but like we rented out an Airbnb.
Oh
lot
no, we
of
can say this.
secrets.
We can say this.
I didn't know if we would get anyway.
No,
so
they knew.
We just. Oh, that's true. We did tell them.
We took their door off.
They didn't know that.
I think they did.
Well, afterwards
They
knew
do
it.
now. Go
They
ahead.
did
Anyway,
now, yeah.
but we were filming like on this house that we turned into a set, and then because pretty much everybody wasn't hyper local there, we all stayed there on that location.
Yeah.
So
That's sick.
some people slept in the house, somebody brought up like an RV and parked it outside, and we all stayed in there. And it's just like it's fun in the fact that it's like a community thing, and it's like we're all in this together. Everybody is like 100% in. We're like
Yeah. You're
hanging
like
out
sleeping in
right.
the same house together.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the best way to do it. In my opinion, it is anyway. Otherwise, like, what are you gonna do? Raise $25,000 for 2 nights of hotels
Exactly.
for everybody?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it's crazy.
I mean, that's just not realistic in indie filmmaking. I mean, obviously,
Sure.
like everybody wants to go the next step for indie filmmaking, but
yeah, but see, like, I got to be honest, from a producer standpoint and director standpoint, or any sort of standpoint, if we're raising $100,000 for a film and $20,000 of that has to go to hotels,
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
we're not making a $100,000 film now. We're making
Right.
an $80,000 film.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's not advantageous to anybody
And
from a
that's
business
why
standpoint.
that's why in indie you have to be crafty. You have to use your set as your sleeping location. You have to, you know,
or shoot close to home, but
or
yeah.
shoot close
Yeah.
to home, right?
You know?
Yeah, and I mean like, and do these things of I don't know a better term for it, but like double dipping, like trying to be efficient as
Yeah.
possible while trying to do something, you know. So, but you know, at the end of the day, you still also have to be safe, and you have to be mindful, and so balancing those two things it's difficult, but it's part of what I think makes indie film special too.
Yeah,
the things you're able
I
to do.
made a film in 2021, in summer of 21, and I had 2 interns working for me, and we had to shoot this movie with a scene that had a jail set in it, and it was my first studio spot in Topsfield.
Oh, nice.
And we like built a jail set within the studio space, which by the way was much smaller than this space.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, I've just never said no. I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Right.
That's our job,
Right.
you know? Because what we do isn't real, you know?
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter doesn't actually exist.
Right.
So let's figure out a way to float the candles on the ceiling kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more like figure it out, crafty kind of like, yeah, we'll just duct tape that and make it work or whatever,
it in
mask
post.
it in post. Yeah,
To my detriment, because I'm the one saying it, and then
a
I
little.
have to do it too.
Yeah, I'm big on like we'll fix it in post because if sometimes if it's something that I can do,
Right.
You know, if it's not, then I'm like, no, we got to figure this out in camera, right?
Well, I mean, the value that you get after making the mistake of, hey, I can't fix it in post enough times is you know what is going to be possible. And
Sure.
you can do it in an indie film when you have to be crafty and you have to do these things. You're gonna need to be like, oh boy, that does not look right, and try and fix it later. And if you've done that so many times, then you're like, okay, I can remove this sign, or I can't like a great example of this, and you know what I'm about to say is on Squirrels, on our first film. There was this sign on this cabin that we were using as our set, and it said like, I don't remember. It was like no pets allowed. Da, 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 da. It was clearly like this was a camp cabin, and this in the film was supposed to be a home. And so it would be weird if there was like a no pets allowed in the camp premises sign on the home. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll just remove it in post. That's easy. I'll just mask it. The issue was our actors passed over the sign multiple times, which I didn't think about in the first film, and their hair was in front of it and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And then our camera work was all handheld.
Fun. That's good
and
for
so-
masking. That's good.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I pulled it off.
Trial by fire.
But
Go
it gave
ahead.
me an extra 10, 20 hours of work for all of our
Sure.
shots. And I'm just like, okay. And, you know, how long
then
would
you
it have
see
taken to
every
put a little
mistake.
piece of green cloth and put over it?
Yeah.
That would- yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Maybe if that
But
works.
how you want to VFX
Right.
it out.
But like, aren't you like happy? I know it's like annoying in the moment at hour 19 of
Oh, yeah.
20, but like, are you not, when you see something else now, you know what I mean? Like if you had put the green cloth, you wouldn't know how to deal with it in the future if you didn't put the green. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you
You're
have
right.
to-
I learned things from that. I learned how to manipulate the image in a way to pull it off. And
Yeah.
that does build. You're right. And you do have to go trial by fire. You're
Sure.
right. But
and you honestly, from a business standpoint, from one business owner to 2 more, in the future when somebody else has an issue and they're like, well, we had this sign, and you're like, yeah, I got that
Yeah.
for you. No
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
Seapoint can fix that.
That's-
you know?
yeah, and
Which is nice.
yeah, I
It's a
think
nice point to be at.
Yeah.
I think we have done for our indie space. We've done some next level VFX work, like stuff
believe
that is like I don't want to say like we've gone into like crazy 3D stuff, but like we've done smoke simulations. We've done like fix it things that you
I
look
could
at.
talk to you for 7 hours.
Yeah,
Please,
I know.
Someone like shut it down at
It's-
some point. All right.
I don't want to get into it, but I'm really really proud of the VFX that we've pulled off.
You should be.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered doing just VFX work for
Hell
other
no.
for other companies or anything?
I don't know if I could just do VFX because it's partly.
Not stopping your other stuff, but I'm saying like if
Yeah.
you were hired, like if Seapoint got hired to do a VFX thing for other people.
Oh, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I thought you meant full time VFX. Absolutely. If there's any
I don't,
Yeah.
right? So if somebody's calling me to produce a film for them, I'm producing the whole film for them, and then I
Yeah.
can sub out other post-production houses or whatever it is
Yeah.
if I need the help. But no one's going to call me to do VFX
Right.
work only. Like
Yeah.
that would be a waste of their money, you know?
Right.
Unless I'm like passing that along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's all. Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, absolutely. Like Seapoint, we can fix like impossible stuff. I don't want
cool.
to say like
Say it. What do you mean you don't want to say?
everything,
Say it. Yes, you
but,
can.
like,
Yes, you can. You figure
we
it out.
can fix a lot.
Yes,
we can
you
fix a
can. You
lot.
figure
I
it
mean,
out.
it's not going to be perfect, but it'll always be a lot better. And I mean, we've done everything. Like the state and stabilization. I think stabilization is probably one of our best because of, like you said, because of all the times we didn't have a tripod or like we had to rough it out for some shot. We also had to learn how to stabilize, and so like we have a litany of stabilization tools that I think we're experts at. So, Mocha, built-in Premiere stuff, DaVinci, you could go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good stuff. Yeah. So when I say what's the future, I mean the future of Seapoint as a company.
Yeah.
Is there a transition point that you're working toward where you're not at a different day job?
I think
Are you going to grow it, you know what I mean, to be the next
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Maine campus? Or like, what's the deal?
it would be cool to do
Sure.
something like that. Yeah, I think. I mean,
Only because you guys are doing well. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
if you
Right.
made some movies and they sucked and then nothing ever came of it and you didn't win any, you know what I mean? Like but you're doing good.
yeah,
Yeah.
So what's the future? If you could do anything, like what's the plan? Is there a plan? It doesn't have to be. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's ultimately the goal,
Right?
And like,
Yeah.
the reality is like, it continually changes, right? So like, what our goal was when we first started, it changed every 2 months for the past,
Sure.
Yeah.
8 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think that's what we envision and what we want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Any
That would be the
features in
most
future?
exciting thing.
Yes, there's a current feature we're working on right now. But I think
you
before
can
we get
talk
to
about?
that,
Yeah.
I would like to say though that I think one thing that I really think that would be kind of great for Seapoint is to be able to, we've helped out other directors. We want to become, we want to make things happen for people. We want to be able to provide a platform for filmmakers who don't know how to get started, or really for indie filmmakers who don't have any money. We want to be able to be like, yeah, we can make a movie. We can do it. Here's how. So we want to give that back. And I think that really speaks to like what we're doing now. We're not like making, we're not like out for like, come hire Seapoint and we'll produce your entire film. We're making a bunch of people's films every year. We're not there yet. We're more focused on single projects at a time.
Oh, sure.
But we also, and something I'm really proud of is we've done a lot of pro bono work. We've done a lot of help for local indie filmmakers to make sure that our community is strong and that we have a great network to build off of. And when people in the future come to us and they want something done, we know those people. That's something that I'm really proud of, and I hope to continue doing, helping out those who don't have the resources to do so.
Look, at the end of the day, regardless of if you're more technically minded or creatively minded, it's still an art form.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating to me. I mean, I dress like this because I have clients that I have to talk to.
Right.
This was a little crazy, but I like it. I'm an artist, like I always have been. And for me, like, it's so frustrating that this is the only art form that can be like, I don't want to say stifled, but like, my family's from like Rockport, Mass. We're all painters and you know what I mean? Like hanging out in Maine, I'm sure there's a ton of artists and painters up where you guys are from too. And it's like it seems to me that every other medium of art is very chill. It's like, hey,
It's stressful to be a
we're gonna, like,
filmmaker.
make stuff,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And so like when I went into filmmaking and left finance and all the other crap that I was doing, I was like, I just want to make cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I find, not always, no names, nobody's bad, everybody's great, but there is like a culture of like, we got to do this right now, and everything's like, blah. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like, but we're making cool shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is, we literally play pretend and record it all day.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's our life. It's pretty chill. It's not that bad. Like with building, camera rigging. I mean, I grew up watching like YouTube videos, Film Riot and Indie Mogul and all these different things where they're like, just ask your dad to go to Home Depot and get some wood. And then you put this on the end of the camera and you can make this seesaw. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's so cool. That part of it, having someone watch your film and go like, how did you do it like that?
That's the best moment,
Yeah,
right?
that is the best moment.
There is nothing better than that because they're experiencing it. They're seeing it. That's the coolest part of it, at least to me.
I want to follow that up because you
Go
made a
for
really
it.
great point. And I think
But I just was saying really quick, just to finish, I really love that you want to help people because that's the main thing. The main thing. No, but like that is like the main thing is that we're all artists just trying to collaborate and make something really cool. You can't make a movie. You can, but you can't make a whole like movie by yourself.
Yeah.
It's naturally a collaborative thing. So working together and building each other up and bringing people here from Maine, and I've had people up from Rhode Island and Connecticut too, which is cool. So it's just a cool thing, and I'm very happy that you're here. Continue with what you were saying.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's about the art, just like you said, and it's about the artists too. And film needs to chill out. Like,
Yes, dude.
chill.
Yes.
Out.
Yeah,
Like
you can swear. It's all good. This is Massachusetts. Say whatever you want, man.
But yeah,
You're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
It
I
is.
feel like there's been this culture of the headsets and the making of, and it's like nobody's talking about name another medium.
Yeah.
Like imagine if nobody gave a shit about the paintings. And everybody was like, well, I used acrylic for this one, and then I moved it. You'd be like, okay, but like that's the finished thing. Like, why are we not talking about the paintings?
Right.
And
that's the other thing. It's difficult for people to. It makes it more difficult, I think, for film versus like my brother's a photographer, and he's a great photographer, and he in fact is helping out with our cinematography because I'm trying to get him to become a cinematographer because I love his work so much. But the thing is, you can walk into a photo gallery and just look at a photo. Sure. And it's like, there's the art. With a movie, it's more nuanced, it's longer form, people don't have long attention spans. And so it's I think the point that you're making is compounded the fact that, you have to make every frame of your movie feel like visually interesting. And that's where I think this drive is. It doesn't have to be, but this is the feeling of an artist, right? You want to be able to make everything that you do, every part of this thing perfect. And you can't. And that's the hard reality of it.
Who's more of a perfectionist?
Can you tell?
Really though? Sure. That's interesting.
I tried not to be because it's
I will say, not that I'm some guru here, but just I have a couple of years on you. Yeah. And as you get older, you realize that like the people that it's more apparent, and you have more anxiety around seeing like the shadow of a boom mic and stuff when you're showing your work to other filmmakers.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nobody knows how to make a movie. I mean, the general public.
Right.
Yeah.
The same way that if someone wheeled in a gurney with a brain surgery patient, all of us would be like, well, that guy's going to die.
Right.
Like we're not brain surgeons. But brain surgeons will see work and be like, oh, that guy's going to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like our perfectionism, it stems, I think, in part at least, from being surrounded by other people in the same field who are like, I can do that, or I can do that better, or whatever, that kind of thing.
Right.
I was watching Rocky recently, and like there's a boom shadow in one of the scenes. It's like going back and
Like,
forth.
we can't paint that out. There's just like how it
the
is.
70s. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's still a great film.
Of course, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And I also think that not that there's anything wrong with VFX or groundbreaking stuff or going above and beyond, but I don't know, man. Like you watch an old movie and you can see like fishing line hanging things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what?
Yeah.
Like that's cool. It's not real. It's all pretend anyway.
Right.
And I think there's like, we just need, I would rather have someone make the movie with the fishing line as opposed to being like, I don't know how to paint that out, so it's just never going to get made. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, practical, as I've gotten, like you said, I want to do as much practical stuff as I can because it's less work for me in the edit.
It's more
also
work for him, though.
It is more work for him. Maybe that's a good thing. No, I don't know.
It's got to be fun, though. I mean, mechanical engineering,
I
you must
love it.
love
That's-
tinkering with crap.
Absolutely.
Like if
That's my
someone came
favorite
to you
thing.
guys and was like, "Hey, listen, it's not exactly Star Wars, but we need these things to roll around or whatever."
Right.
Oh yes.
That's what
Yeah.
I come to him with. And I'm like, dude, can
Yeah.
we make this? And he's like, yeah, I'll paint a giant box that's going to go on the bridge and like explode.
That's sick.
And then the film gets
Have you
scrapped,
ever
but whatever.
have you ever been into like robotics or animatronics or anything like that?
Yeah, so when we were in high school, we were both on our first robotics team. First is like a
Brand.
brand community type of thing.
Oh,
They
okay.
have an
okay.
event.
I know
so
nothing
it's like
about robotics.
essentially
It's like
I think
high
it's
school robotics.
only high schools. So
But like
there's like
robots that battle each other.
Yes.
Or,
yeah,
like
so
battle
there's
bots.
like
Yeah.
Continue.
it's like a
please.
season.
Yes, it is.
Over the year, and you basically, I think it's generally just within schools. You'll have like a little team that gets formed. You get funded by local businesses,
Sure,
donations, etc. And first, we'll release a promo video, and they're like, "This is the new event for this year. You need to do objective ABC. This is how you win. This is how you score points."
Yeah, you
things like
win by
that.
smashing the other guy, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well,
Sometimes,
yeah.
generally not though.
Oh,
but
interesting.
You're not supposed to win by smash the other guy,
Yeah,
but
I guess that's a key
sometimes
point.
you can get away with it.
but similarly within first, it was
You're coming
like
to school with like saw blades and stuff. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. That's cool.
it was I think more than anything, it over indexed in like we are a community. We are in this together. When you are at a competition, it's like a multi-day thing usually. And for example, our team's robot breaks and we don't have the parts to fix it. It's something really technical that for whatever reason we couldn't figure out.
Sure.
Other teams will come over and be like, "Oh, well, you can have this, or I can help you out with that." And it was just like a very welcoming thing,
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
which is like,
bizarre to me.
and
I feel like
I swear it's like the only competitive sport might be a bit of a stretch, but
well, I
it's,
get what you mean, though.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like there was nothing else like it. And it was like
Yeah.
a
I mean,
really
people call chess a sport. So like,
Right.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's
sure.
a sport.
It's
Yeah.
a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a team.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody wins.
Right.
It's a sport.
And I think to piggyback off that, like that community that's sharing that,
Yeah.
In a way, it almost felt like you weren't competing because there was also teams of robots too. So it was like you were collaborating, and I think
Right.
that really translates well into film. And as we started our own business,
Yeah.
we collaborate with somebody else for their project, and they come and help us out. And maybe we're not paying each other, but we're giving each other's time, and that's more valuable.
Right.
than
It's the one
money.
thing you can't get back.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's and I think that we learned a lot from our time during robotics.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
a
that's
surprising
cool.
amount that would translate into film. So like how to design, because you build a thing that does something, in a movie you have to build a thing that does something, and
Right.
it's kind of the same.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
definitely an overlooked aspect of this industry, I would say, would be tinkering with and building things. And I was super into stop motion when I first.
awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I've not done much
Every
stop
stop.
motion. But
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very cool stuff. Whether you're working with clay or you're like
I did
actually
Legos when I was younger.
building.
Lego stop motion.
Interesting. That's interesting. I was more of a clay kind
guy,
of person.
claymation?
Yeah. But then like the armatures, and I got super into like King Kong 1933 version, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I obsess, and that's my like happy place.
Yeah.
It's completely overlooked, and a film set is more like a construction zone,
Right.
than like whatever you see in the frame.
Right.
Right.
So there's crap everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like an iceberg, right? You see like a third of it, and
The
then
audience
the other
sees
2/3.
this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we see this.
Right. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's tons of people walking around, and everybody has their job. All right, so let's do. What's been? It's been since what? You founded in 2018.
2018, so it's been 7 years. Yeah.
Just about 7 years.
7 years of working on and off in indie film.
Yeah.
And the most recent, we've been working with Rachel Thomas for a while. She's been a great partner. We've done a couple other short films,
Sure.
with other teams and directors and stuff. And now we're moving into our first. I'm directing a feature.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm directing. I'm acting as the lead because I am. That's crazy. And not an actor, but now I am.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you absolutely are. Right now, you are.
Yep. And
Wow, so it's your first feature, and you're directing, and you're the star.
and I'm editing.
All right, settle down, buddy.
And you,
I love how like 2 minutes ago I just said you can't make a movie by yourself.
Yeah.
Apparently,
So this is really interesting. So the film, I call it a featurette because it's not. It's 45, 50-ish minutes.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's a full feature quite, but it's
too long to
unique.
be a short, too short to be a feature.
Right. But technically, the Academy says that 45 minutes and above is a feature, so you can call it a feature, according to Oscars.
Academy.
So
Hate the Academy.
whatever,
Go ahead.
man. Right?
They just got a rule this year that they have to watch the films. So
really.
oh,
And then they
it's
just
so
got their
frustrating.
stunts award. I mean, like, come on, like stunts are.
There are
that's a whole
so many
other
people
thing.
that get overlooked, dude. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
But the film, it's and it's really indie, and I love it. And it's really New England. I love that, and it's
very New England.
Yeah.
What
it's,
makes it so New England?
so we're shooting it over an entire
Like
year.
they eat lobster. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're shooting it over an entire year,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted to showcase all the seasons of New England,
That's awesome.
and New England is like very seasonal,
Practically.
right? And you know, you have your winters, you have your mud season, you have your falls, you have your tourist season.
it's
You know how it goes. And so we're really embodying that. And so we're also, so because of that, and because we're super busy and all this stuff, we're shooting it over, like, it's going to be 2 years by the time it'll be done.
Right.
of
Are you doing like
production.
weekends or whenever
Weekends, so the mix of this, that, and the other, and, you know, vacation time.
you can? Did you write the film?
I wrote the film.
Wrote, direct, star, edit.
Yeah, I know. I had the laundry.
What are you
list.
doing?
But, you
I
know,
know.
it's really something.
There's also, so like,
No, this is awesome.
Jacob has done,
glazing
or
me over
I
here.
shouldn't say has, is continuing to do a ton of work on the film and is definitely doing the most work out of a single person on it.
Sure.
But we're pulling in lots of people that we've worked with previously.
Sure.
And they're helping us out on it.
It's little
And-
bits here
yeah.
and little bits there. And it's like a day here, a half day there.
And that's what's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I mean it's low budget, it's everything, you know, but it's really, and it's called The Second Bird. That's the title of the film. I
The
wrote
second bird.
The Second Bird.
You
Yes.
did a lot of birds, huh? Company
Yeah.
of crows.
I know.
Yeah, that's right.
There
It's
is
got
a theme.
There's an animal theme in our
Yeah,
films.
squirrels in the attic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
And so it's hopefully going to be done in 2026. That's the idea.
Have you already started shooting and like?
So we were at one point in time writing, shooting, and editing it all at the same point.
Wow.
I know that's confusing.
Yeah,
to
so
people.
we started
it.
filming prior to it being fully written.
Yes, because we had to, because of seasonal timing. So I had
Yeah.
parts of it written,
Right,
and I
because
had an overall
Seasons won't happen again next year.
Right.
Well, you know, I wanted to
mean-
get it done in a certain
Just kidding.
time frame.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
I'm just kidding. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
makes
You're
sense.
right.
I get it, dude. You're creative. I get it. I'm
so-
just joking around. Go ahead.
No. It's funny though. You're totally right. Like, because at the
It's
beginning,
the last spring ever.
that's what it was like. It was like I was like, we're not gonna get it in time.
Well, especially if you see something that you're like, this is it. We got to
Yeah.
do this right now.
Yeah.
I get it.
So the Second Bird,
Dude, enjoy it. I got to tell you, like, enjoy it because the second someone's like $5 million budget, whatever it is, they're in total control, and
yeah.
all of that drains away. It sucks. Enjoy it, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
spend the time, make it perfect, do your thing.
more money is always great, but like
Yeah,
there
but that's
is.
not why. I mean,
It's
well,
not
maybe
why
it is
we
for
make
you.
movies.
I was gonna say it's not why I got into.
Yeah,
this. It's not.
and in this movie particularly, this is a stepping point for me. I feel like as a filmmaker, but also for us as filmmakers and Seapoint as a company.
Sure.
You know, this is like, I mean, all of our projects have been like it felt in house, but like this one is like our full entire
Can you
vision.
give me like a tagline or like
Yes.
a general like
So-
what's it about?
The shortest way I could distill it is that it's about a stand-up comedian who's dealing with the loss of his grandmother, and he's trying to come to terms with that in a comedic way, and
Interesting.
he kind of is going a little insane. But so and
see
it's
that.
but what's really fun I think about the film is that it's like a parallel universe version of our own. And so in the film, I'm playing myself. In the movie, John, by the way, he's an actor in the movie, is playing John.
That's cool.
And some of our other friends are playing themselves, combined with the fact we also have actors playing some of the supporting characters as well. So the movie is really meant to, for me, I wrote it in the wake of my grandmother's death.
Sure.
As a way to kind of cheer me up a little bit. She was a storyteller.
That's awesome.
She had these crazy stories that you maybe don't necessarily like would believe, but a surprising amount were true.
Right.
And
I feel like we all have a grandparent at least.
right,
That's like,
who says something, you're like, Grandpa, did that really happen? And then 30 years later, after they're gone, you see the photo and you're like, oh my God, they were telling the truth.
Yeah, like that is crazy.
That's this film.
That's
And
cool.
That's like, you watch it and I want you to think like, how much of this was real and how much of this wasn't.
Right.
And there's kind of a line that's been blurred because, well, I did it for the movie in a way. And then sometimes some of it happened in real life. And so that's kind of the I know that's a vague kind of description.
It's in production. I get it.
But so in the movie, he's a stand-up comedian and he's dealing with the loss of his grandmother. It's similar to me how I'm a filmmaker, so I'm an artist. And John came up with the idea of me being a comedian because I was like, I wanted my character to be an artist, but a different artist.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be completely myself. And he's like, well, what? You're making a comedy film. What if you were a comedian? And I'm like, that's great. And I'm going to be a bad comedian too. So he's not great. And that's kind of the funny part, right? He's like not funny, which makes it funny.
Sure.
Or like he's trying to, I don't know. We're still working on that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, but it's really cool because we're dealing with him and his mental state, trying to he has this end goal, which I can't really explain in detail here, but he has this end goal, not to spoil it for the movie, and he wants to, and he's trying to reach the end goal over the course of an entire year. So we get to see him not just in a lot of movies that they only have there's a vague kind of understanding of time.
Sure,
It's like a week, it could be a month. It doesn't really matter in its sense for how long a period of time it is in a lot of movies. In this movie, it matters a ton. And it's very, both visually, because it's a lot of outdoors, exterior.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why shoot it over a year?
Right,
You shoot
exactly.
everything in a living room. Like,
Exactly.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. So there's a lot of it's just exteriors.
Yeah.
Celebrating the, in New England, and we're shooting on the Maine coast. We're shooting at the lighthouses. We're shooting in the White Mountains. We're
That's
shooting
cool. Nice area.
all over the place. Fishing, doing all these things that are like, tropes of growing up in New England. And we're also every single season returning to the place where my grandmother's buried, at the New Hampshire State Veterans Cemetery. And so what's really cool is we're showing the passage of time through the seasons at the cemetery. We have this one shot. There's like a gazebo and all the gravestones, and it's very beautiful there. And we've gotten the exact same shot, the exact same framing every season. And it's going to transition. The seasons you're going to see them transition, like one of those nature documentaries where you see the whole year
So
transition.
artsy. It's great.
Yeah, and we're
love
going to
it.
see it, and it's going to line up perfectly, and it's so cool. And we're even getting multiple iterations of each season. So you have, because at the beginning of the movie it's summer, and you see summer, and you see it go to fall, and then to winter. But you also want to see it when it goes from winter to spring. You want to have a different winter. So
Great place to live to be shooting,
Yeah.
like to show seasonal changes too.
Yeah.
Right.
You can really do that in California as an example.
You can't.
Right.
You're not going to get snow.
Right.
you
We
know?
get everything here, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I love living in New England. I'm a big New England guy as well. Yeah, I think it's great. And awesome. Okay, so it's going to take you 2 years to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in production for a year.
And you're in your second year of...
We're in the second year. We're hoping to be done by the end of 2025, maybe a little after that. What's
With
unique
with shooting
Shoot.
principle?
with shooting,
Okay.
yeah. But what's unique about the project is we're also editing it while we're going.
Yeah.
And since it's such a long period of time.
Sure.
Which also helps a ton.
How often do you go back and watch stuff you've shot?
Oh, instantly. Like I'll shoot it
constant.
and I'll immediately go and I'm putting it in the edit and I'm seeing if it works, because there's also like time continuity stuff where you have to this will happen before this thing.
How do you deal with like I don't know, your hair growing and stuff like that? You know,
So
like,
I have been getting the same haircut for an entire year.
Yeah.
It's about time to get it again. That's one of those things where I originally was like, oh, maybe I'll have my hair grow out over time. But then I realized we're not shooting continuously.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that would be a problem. So I just kind of kept getting it cut to a similar length. There's also scenes where, in the winter I'm wearing a hat, so it doesn't matter. If I'm hiking, I'm wearing a hat, doesn't matter. Or like there's a couple flashbacks, I guess I'll call it, where it doesn't necessarily matter what my hair length is. So we're kind of dealing with this continuity as best as we can.
sure. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations in advance. I mean, that sounds like a huge project.
Thank
Big
you.
undertaking.
Yeah, we're really excited. It wouldn't be possible without like all of the people that have been supporting us. And I want to add to with the film is that we're extremely ambitious about this project.
You don't say.
But no, I'm about to blow your mind a little bit. There is
More so than shooting a movie over the course of 2 years?
yes, because we're also producing an album that's releasing alongside the movie.
You're musicians as well?
No, my one of our really close friends is a musician.
Oh,
His name
okay,
is
cool.
Harrison Dinius, and I approached him for making a soundtrack for the movie. And this is kind of the theme to go back to Seapoint, and what we like to do is celebrate art as a whole. And so I talked to him for a while, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know. I'll do a song here, do a song there." And then we eventually go like, "What if we did a whole soundtrack? And then what if we released an album?" So now we're doing an alternative rock album that is gonna be the soundtrack for the movie, but also is gonna live as its own thing.
Sure.
There's gonna be some songs that aren't in the film, some alterations of different versions of the songs that are only on the album, and that'll be releasing alongside the movie.
That's cool.
Furthermore, my brother, who's a photographer, who I told you about,
Yeah.
he's doing a photo gallery to celebrate. It's called the Seasons of New England. To celebrate, it's supposed to tie into the movie, but also he and his
You
visual.
better get an invite to this premiere, guys.
Oh,
This
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
sick.
This premiere is
Go
going to
ahead.
be
Yeah,
crazy.
This sounds awesome.
So there's going to be a gallery at the first premiere, and this is all leading up to this first premiere.
Yeah.
There's going to be a gallery showcasing all of his photography work during the time of this movie. Because he's also shooting. He's partly a cameraman for the movie.
Yeah.
He's shooting a photo series to go along with the movie. And what's great is he's also capturing B-roll while he's shooting his photos. So there's going to be a visual, there's going to be the video version of the photos in the movie, and then the high-res printed quality photos that are going to be alongside that at the premiere. We're going
That's
to be doing
awesome.
like a silent auction for those. To raise more funding.
Sure.
And some of our backers are going to be getting those too for the film.
That's
So, like,
incredible.
It ultimately, it all comes back to like building a community. We're trying to involve as many people as possible
Yeah.
into this film. And then, like Harrison or Ben, your brother, trying to kind of promote other people's work as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's
I
we're
feel like,
trying to
and
grow it
again,
as much as possible.
I'm not saying it's nothing bad about anybody in particular, and there's just a lot of this type of person that I'm about to talk about, film students in general. There's nothing wrong with anybody, but when you're in college, you're in like for film.
Yeah.
From what I've learned, you're there to be Spielberg. Like you're there to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
You're there ultimately paying, between $200,000 and $400,000 in some of these places, to leave there and be the guy
Right.
or the girl, whatever. So bringing that energy into a collaborative environment tends to not work as well. You know what I
Right.
mean? And whatever, like it is what it is. Like you have to look out for yourself. Nobody else is going to pay your bills, kind of
Right,
deal,
right.
right? At the same time, I come from an art background. Like my
Right.
I have sculptors in my family. That's all they do, sculpt things. My grandmother was a painter, and like a whole bunch of different things, right? Yeah. And so for me, I'm like, no, I want to make the art. This is like the coolest. I didn't expect any of this, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's This is cool. I'm
I'm
like,
so excited about the project. It's really, I know it sounds really vague, kind of in a lot of in big
it does,
ideas
but like
way,
I don't want to. Don't tell me what the movie. I
but
want
I
to watch the
don't want
movie.
to
You know
spoil
what I mean?
it
Like
because it has such a unique concept, and it obviously I get it. Like on the outside, it kind of looks a little self-centered, but this is why I'm trying to bring as many people into it as possible. And
how could you tell anybody else's story other than your own?
exactly. And, honestly, kind of, you said, everyone wants to be the Spielberg. But, Spielberg himself said, if you want to make, like, before you're going to make movies that appeal to other people, you have to make movies that appeal to yourself. And
Oh my God.
that's this movie. It's personal.
Tarantino said it should be so personal, you're almost embarrassed to show it to other people.
This is what this is, dude. It is so embarrassing. I get shit on by a bird and it gets in my mouth. Like, there's so many things in this movie that are, like, absurd.
So how did you make that work? This shit.
Well, I could talk about that, Shaq, because you could explain it. You were there.
Okay.
I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah. So we were in a local park in our hometown.
Poor Foster.
Yep.
Yeah.
John's in a tree, like grabbing a bird.
We
Go ahead.
had thought about a bunch of different ways to do this, but the one we settled on was, and this was slightly hairy because this is basically there's already some footage of this that you can see, but Jacob is running, and he runs out to the edge of a cliff overlooking the water, and a bird craps on him. And we have our camera, our DP, somebody dropping the quote bird crap
With the turkey baster.
with a turkey baster
Oh, okay. That was what I was
on a
literally
ladder
I wanna
on the
know.
side of the cliff in the
There's
rain.
like 3 people
So
on a ladder in
this-
the rain. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some concerns about this.
We had people
But
stabilizing. It was okay.
we had yes,
Yeah.
no. Overall, it was fine, but
Yeah.
it was
But if it wasn't,
right.
I mean,
if it wasn't, it
could
would
have
have
fallen
been.
to your death. Cooler
bad.
story. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, it wasn't.
It's not like
the way that we
yeah.
shot it is in a way, and this is coming out of safety, right? Like the way that we shot it was in a way that, if anything does go wrong, it's not like people are falling off a cliff. It was
No.
on a different rock.
It-
We framed it separately where it was safer.
It will look
So,
worse
yeah.
than it was.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
the
what
way
you
the
always
idea.
Well, that's the
aim
point.
for,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, everything we do is fake.
There's
Right.
other stunts in the movie that are they're gonna look insane.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Some of them are kind of
bad shit.
yeah.
There is a certain company that we just partnered with, actually, official sponsor.
That's cool.
I don't want to reveal it yet till the trailer because
No, it's fine.
this will be kind of like the oh shit moment in the trailer. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some, let's say, like Mission Impossible kind of vibe, kind of stunts.
Yeah.
And there's
Now, can I ask you, are you the one who's going to be doing these stunts?
Yes, I am. Now the other people are going to be doing.
Yeah,
with
that's
me.
where I
By the
would draw
way,
the
they
line.
confirmed that you can come with me for that.
Oh, great.
one.
Good.
So he will be coming on. I want to get other people in on it, but for safety reasons, right? There's only certain things you can do. There's also like stunts that'll happen that are completely faked. Like,
Sure, that would be me. Yeah, I would be like, put the guy in a fat suit. He can do it, and I'll just
Yeah.
give him my jacket. I'm not.
Yeah.
Doing I'm not jumping off a train or anything crazy. Yeah, it's
And
not-
there's other people. There's other people too that in the film that things happen to them. 2 in particular. And what's funny is though, because some of the scariest stuff that's happened in the movie, or that's going to happen in the movie, like did happen to me, like in real life.
wow.
In some ways or another. A lot of it is based. You know how they say like every like every lie has a grain of truth.
Yeah,
That's kind of this movie where it's like, well,
you're embellishing
I'm embellishing
for a movie.
but there is a root. Like there's these things kind of happen in a similar way. to
Sure.
me. Maybe not as extreme. We're amping it up for the movie, but yeah. And then we're like, we're recreating things like a viral video on the internet, which we got permission to recreate for the movie.
That's cool.
There's a lot of things, and so what's funny is as I said, this movie is told over the course of a year, but the character. He's a stand-up comedian. This whole movie is his stand-up routine, and it's told retroactively. So like we're cutting in between him, like delivering
On a stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
So like it's his after all of the whole year, he decided that he's going to make a stand-up routine about it. So that's his routine. Him
That's
telling
cool.
the story. So it's kind of
Very
like, okay,
cool.
if it's a little, because comedians kind of lie a little bit, they
A little bit.
a
Yeah.
lot of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's part of it too.
What do you have? Do you have plans with it? So like you premiere it, you have the album, you've got all this stuff, and
Yes.
then does it go to festivals? Like what's the plan for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go into the festival circuit.
Nice.
But there's a separate premiere, local in the music hall. Hopefully, we're still working on those logistics. In Portsmouth, where we wanted originally. I wanted because we've been involved with New Hampshire Film Festival and HFF for a while. They're if you didn't know, they're one of a few like 15, 16 festivals that are Oscar qualifying, Academy qualifying. So they're a big name, and it's really cool to have them in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And we've had our films in them for, I think, 3 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Holt, Fenwick, Penny. And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to premiere this thing at a festival. But then I decided because there's so many aspects to it,
Sure.
I want to be able to control that. And I felt
there
like
it is. There's the
yeah.
control. There's the artistic. No, this is mine. Yeah. Go
But
ahead.
I also, let me follow.
That's funny. Go
I
ahead.
also wanted to be respectful to the other filmmakers. Because if this thing is all
course.
this bombastic, whatever, and what have you, I don't want to take away
You're not.
somebody
Stop
else's.
it.
I
That's
don't know.
ridiculous. Ride your wave. Have
Yeah.
fun. And you know what, though? Because here's the thing. That's not diminishing anybody else. They should all be riding their waves as well. And I know, based on the last hour of talking to you, that when their wave rolls on or whatever, you're going to be cheering them on just as much as you would want them to cheer you on.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know?
And it'll be in the festivals. So it'll just be,
That's fantastic, dude.
yeah. I mean,
Really cool.
thank you. But we have a lot of work to do still.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen it yet. I could be lying. I'm kidding.
you don't know. But yeah, so it'll be really cool when we premiere it. It will have all of the elements, the photo, the music, the film itself, and then we'll do a festival run. We'll see how it does. It'll be weird to program because it's like a weird length.
Yeah.
But I've seen them done before with like 30 minutes plus, and they put that with some shorts. So it's not like 6 shorts in a festival. It'll be like this, like a feature plus a couple shorts. So I'm hoping that's how they'll do it. And the problem with making a short film that's over 20 minutes is that you're going to take a slot away from another short film, which is why festivals tend to not program longer short films.
Yes, it's true.
And I totally understand that. And this is where this one's weird because it's, obviously they'll program a full feature film. But this one is like not quite a feature. So I'm kind of torn on how to market it.
Just make it the best you can.
Yeah.
Let it speak for itself. You'll be fine.
Exactly. And that, that's what Harry has been saying to me. That's what you've been saying to me. Like, it'll be how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's his art.
Yeah. Worry about the art.
It'll
Don't
come
worry
together.
about. Yeah, of course it will.
So
Definitely.
It will.
yeah.
It's nothing to worry about. And there's plenty of other avenues of distribution other than festivals as well. So if
Yeah, that's
something was
true.
to go wrong, if someone was like, oh, we can't program this, there's plenty of other people in the Rolodex of distribution, ways to get it out there. You know what I mean? Which is great. All right, I have a question.
What's up?
Both of you, individual answers. Not naming names, not talking down or bad about anybody, but what is the craziest moment? This is what I want to know. So you got a GoPro and then decided that you wanted to make movies.
Yep.
And I don't know, like for me personally, like my filmmaking journey was, I was very young. I actually watched the Peter Jackson King Kong and went home and I was like, I need to know more about why I cried at 11 or 10 in the theater and like why that was so impactful. Then I found the old version and I was like, wait, a guy made this thing move around and like that was sick. And then my dad changed companies over and didn't want to hire a media company. And so I had to make all of his videos. That's literally when I sold, not to my dad, to an outside company, my first commercial client when I was 13.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one would think. But like, but I really did. Like I sat there and had a meeting and it was really cool. And then we moved back out here where my family's from. I was living in LA at the time. And we moved back out here and I was like, oh, well, that dream's dead because it's New England. Like I'm going to either have to become a painter or a fisherman. And other than that, I'm screwed, which was, wrong. obviously.
Things are changing now.
Yeah, no, it's changing like significantly.
Yeah.
Do not undercut New England when it comes to film because it's very like extremely up and coming, which is really cool. Plus, it's a beautiful area. Like everybody
Right.
should shoot out here.
Right.
And a lot of them do already anyway, which is nice. But it's a different journey than like all of our journeys are different. But I'm saying like for me, like I wanted to make movies, you know, since I was a little kid, and then you guys got a GoPro, and you're like computer science, video game design, and then mechanical engineer. This isn't typical. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To start a studio and start making stuff, not a bad thing. It's just not typical. So it's very interesting to me. Since you initially met Rachel, and since you've made 3 shorts with her,
We've done 5.
5 shorts.
Yeah. Well, in some capacity, 5 with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Seapoint's done 5.
Yep.
Shorts.
Yeah, we've done 5 shorts with Rachel. We've done more than that too. Yeah.
Under the Seapoint name?
Under Seapoint, we had Fresh Cola. We did.
Yeah, we've done other work not related.
That one was in Colorado. We did. Yeah. Anyway, we've done a litany.
We've done a bunch.
Sure. What is the Fresh Coals with the child actors?
Yes.
I
that's
watch.
correct.
I stalked the hell out of you. Yeah. I mean, you're coming on the show. I had to know. You know what I mean? Which, ironically, I booked you guys to come in before I looked up all of the stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Which could be a good thing or a bad thing. But no, you guys are great. Like your stuff is fantastic. So what was either the most challenging or like the craziest moment that you've had in your entire since 2018? I would say.
Yep.
Not like in a negative way toward anyone in particular, but like what was the most difficult thing you had to overcome that afterward you were like, wow, that was challenging. That was a moment for the book.
That is a good question.
It could be with a client, or it could be on a narrative set as well.
I think this is a negative one, and maybe I'll come up with something more positive.
It
But
doesn't have to be positive.
I'm
like,
excited to hear that.
see, here's what I'm looking for.
You'll
Hold on,
know what
here's
I'm talking
looking
about.
for honesty and reality.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
when we
Because it's a journey, and I don't want
Right.
other people to be discouraged to getting into this. I want people to like want to do it.
yeah.
But it's the overcoming it that I'm looking for. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Not the time you get the cops called on you and shut down.
No.
Go ahead.
when did we do the block party the first time? What year
Oh my
was that?
gosh, dude. That's
Just
really
what-
that's the okay. So
what year
that
was
would have
that?
been. Was that after the Gaslight? Or
We'll
before?
we'll
just like 2018, 2019.
Well,
like the early
yeah, we'll
on,
pretend.
early.
It doesn't
early
matter.
Seapoint. Yeah.
Sure.
we had not done much of anything at that point.
Sure.
Through Seapoint, at least. And we had somebody local to us who had, I'm not going to say who it is or what they did, but they wrote a TV show and they sold it to like Netflix and
big
blew
TV
up.
show.
A big TV show.
Okay.
Still running and everything. So
Congrats to them.
they,
It was a what do they call it? A reality TV show.
yep.
Yeah.
So
Maine?
they
Okay.
had gone through that before, and they were still making pitches for other TV shows and things like that. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to hire us to film that, and it's just like pitch videos.
You were filming and creating the pitch video.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following.
So it's just like a few minutes long. It's
Yeah.
You know.
Give me money.
right. Yeah. So we started doing this for them. We started working with them, and it was still the most difficult people I've ever worked with.
God, dude.
Ever outside of film, just in general, because
Awful.
Yeah.
they were like, oh, we want to hire you to do project X, and we were like, great, we'll do that. This is how much it will cost you. This is how we'll film it all. They said sure, and
On the day.
so we did everything for them. It was
Okay.
exactly as asked.
Yeah.
right? And we presented it to them, and they said, well, this isn't what we were looking for. We'll pay you half. And
Oh, you should have called me. Go ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Should have known you.
And
Oh, yeah. That
we
would
hadn't
have
done
been-
anything before.
and
we
mind
made
you,
triple.
we had a like 7-page contract
And how
that
old
they
were you
made.
guys? Not that age.
Oh, we
really-
were like 18, 19.
Right,
Right.
so you were like
Yeah.
babies in the. This
We-
is
Correct.
very early on.
Yeah.
we're like,
Correct.
we'll do anything for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go above and beyond, and they're like, meh.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was more like
Yeah.
that. They were like attacking us and like repulsive and like they were like, "How dare you?"
Yeah,
Like,
Wait, what? What do
Yeah,
you
were
mean?
like
they were-
harassed by them. It was
they
it was
had
a
this
terrible.
ego because they had made this successful one pitch for this one show that done it, and they just, they just thought that they could just walk all over us, and they
Wait,
did.
but what I'm confused about, and again, I know we're not naming names. I'm not getting
Yeah.
that deep into it, but what I'm confused about is you described and pitched to them what you would be making.
They
prior,
knew exactly
right?
Yeah,
what
they
we would
wanted
be
it.
making.
Yeah.
We-
I had
and-
based on knowing you for all of an hour, I'm assuming they knew exactly what they were getting.
right. And
So, what was the issue?
I think we just kind of got like manhandled, basically. I mean, it was just
They probably
like
thought, "Oh, these kids will do whatever." And blah blah.
There
blah.
was one
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
though, right before we stopped working with them, where like we made the whole thing and we gave it to them, and I don't remember. I think we might have put watermarks on it or not. I can't remember. But like they were just like, "Thanks, we're not paying you
At all?
At all." And they were, and we're
Okay,
like,
please take my
okay,
card before
you
you
know,
leave.
and then we wrote out this whole, and we were working with another individual too at the time. We had a bunch of friends when we were starting out who were helping out.
Sure,
and
sure.
he had done part of it, and so he was really upset because I wasn't able to pay him either. And then
And like, what do you do when you're 18, 19? You
we
have
didn't
no
have
idea.
any
know what to
money.
do.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
don't have
it was
anything.
like,
That sucks.
and that was like starting out too. So it was like not a great way. It felt like to start out.
Yeah.
yeah.
So how do you what was that like for you two afterward?
man.
Were you like, "Oh, we made a mistake making this clearly you didn't make
Well,
a mistake, by the way.
I mean-
your work, can I just say, everybody should check you guys out because you are fantastic.
Thank
and you're
you.
artists and you're doing a great job. And
Appreciate it.
I love that you're here. And not here. I mean, I do
Well,
love that you're
thank
here.
you.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole reason I did this show, because I'm very busy. I've been up since 6 a.m. Like,
Right.
I worked all day long.
Yeah.
And the reason that I do this is to build more of a sense of community. Like,
Right.
stop leaving to go to LA to be a waiter to like maybe get a job as a grip somewhere. Like, you
Yeah.
can make movies here. You know what I
Right.
mean? This is the whole point of this series.
Yeah.
So, no, I greatly appreciate that. But what was that like for you guys to
Well, it was just like
discouraging, I'm sure, but
yeah, it was extremely discouraging because it's like we really tried on this thing, and like I still stand by. We didn't make like a
didn't.
piece of junk. It was
off
exactly
air, I
what
would
they
love
asked
to see
for,
it.
and yeah, we just kind of got taken advantage of, really.
Yeah.
Which is like I hated that feeling, and I don't want to put somebody else in that
Of course.
position.
Sure, of
Right?
course.
So it's like it was just at the end of the day, it was just a learning experience of like this is what not to do. This
Yeah.
is a terrible example. I don't want to ever go in that direction.
Sure.
So,
And I'm sure from a business standpoint, either moving forward with contracts or whatever else that you do, you've totally CYA the whole thing, right?
Well, the problem was that we did do that, and we went really professional. We were really strict, on all these commercial clients. But then when we transitioned into film, it was a little different.
In what way?
People, when you're not shooting commercial, when you're shooting for film, it's less about the legal documents, the paperwork. Of course, those are there, but it's more
say,
about
don't skip
the
them, please.
networking.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sure.
the community, where it feels more in commercial like, it's just an exchange of services and that's
Right.
it.
Well, it is, and that's
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're a production company that's being hired by a brand, like you're there to execute their vision.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Whereas when you're working in narrative film, especially in the case of like your feature,
yeah.
I can't imagine a project that would be more personal than the one you're working on right now.
Right. There's none.
Right?
Yeah.
But think of it this way too.
Yeah.
Because you're not wrong, but put yourself in the headspace of if you came up with the idea and then came to someone like me and said, make this movie, if it's not 100%,
Right.
you'd be like, what the hell is this?
And that's
You know what I'm
and that's
saying?
what we learned working with Rachel,
Sure.
because she was a writer and she'd never been a director, and we were a video production company that was never a film production company
Sure.
officially yet. And so we're like, okay, how do we collaborate on this vision? How do we
Yeah.
make your vision, but in a different way than a client for a video?
I should have Rachel on. I think that'd be
You
great.
really should
You
have
should.
Rachel on.
Yeah.
She
All
would love to talk to you.
I'll bring her on.
Yeah,
I have no
seriously.
problem. Yeah.
And by the way, Rachel is producing The Second Bird. So she's our producer now.
Nice.
So the roles are flipped now. She was the director for
That's
her
cool.
projects, and I was we were the production company, and now she's the producer.
That's
and-
awesome.
Yeah. So
All right,
her,
give me your crazy moment. What's your
Oh yeah,
craziest
that's what we're
one?
talking about. I would say that.
I'm sure that's pretty hard to top, but
Well, I would say I'm actually surprised because that's not the craziest moment. The craziest moment probably was
hurt me the most, I guess is what it was.
he's such a good guy, man. Oh man.
I mean,
That does suck.
there was the moments on Squirrels that were challenging because we were new and we didn't really know what we were doing. And Crows, I think, was the hardest in the company of.
Kim Fogelgren in that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, she's
Have you-
been in my stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
Kim is
Love her,
great.
yeah.
That was one of her first acting gigs, I think.
And Paul Kandarian's in
Paul
the
Kandarian is
Squirrel one, right?
also.
Yeah.
We've worked with them a bunch.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Paul was in
Fantastic
Squirrels,
actor.
and has he been on the show?
No, he hasn't yet.
Get him on the show.
All right, I'll have him.
Get him on the show. I can tell you, but anyway,
actors are interesting to have on podcasts. You
but
know?
Paul is a guy.
Paul's great, but it's
who-
like, you know, but my issue is not with Paul.
Yeah.
It's like once you have actors on, then
Sure.
all of the actors want to come on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you have anybody though, Paul,
Plus,
he's been in everything.
Yes, he has.
And
He
in
has.
fact, he's also in The Second Bird.
Yeah.
So, which is exciting to say. He's a voiceover role though.
That's cool. Though. He's a great voice.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does have a great voice.
Yeah. No, Paul's a great actor. He's
Yeah.
he's very, very talented.
But in Crows, in the company of Crows, is the hardest the most tired I've ever been in my entire life, and ever will be. I'm pretty sure. This was a production that happened during the middle of COVID in the hot summer.
Yeah.
In July, and so everyone's out, has masks, and we had no AC. We shot in Georgetown, Mass, and at our high school that we went to. We got permission to use the high school, and we filled it with 30 extras. And in the middle of COVID, it was insane. There was a lot to do, and we did it safely. And
I wasn't concerned.
yeah, I mean, but it was exhausting. It was so tiring.
Sure.
We were. I mean, man, we would be getting there, and the most stressed I've ever been in my entire life. And I don't want to drop the ball on John on this one. It was not his fault. He knows what I'm going to say. So the second day of shooting, we got up. It was like 5 a.m. and we filled my entire car. We had a minivan with all of our equipment. We were already about to be late to set. And John gets in the car and he turns the key and he put his car keys in my car.
Oh my God.
And it snapped the ignition.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't use the car
Yeah.
anymore. So he was trying to did you get it out? I can't remember.
It came out. So my key came out, but the ignition of the car was completely broken.
All of the equipment for the entire film, and we were like 45 minutes away from set, and so we're so tired because we didn't sleep at all the entire prior night because we were planning for the next day, and we already had a day of production, and we're going to the set, and so we have to unload everything and put it into a different car, load it up, and get to set and shoot from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. And so we were just shooting. And I mean, those hours were unrealistic and not healthy, and we wouldn't be doing that again.
Right. That's so much fun.
But we were learning still on how to
See,
run.
I mean, listen, I get it. I'm not, and I don't overwork my people or whatever. But at the same time,
you gotta
sometimes
make
it's just
the sausage,
you just gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
You
Exactly.
know, sometimes it's just fun. And if everybody's on board, obviously get a consensus. Is everybody cool? We happy? We healthy?
Okay,
whatever.
are we okay?
Yeah,
skipping
there's plenty
lunch,
of food,
'cause-
whatever.
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of downtime.
The
too.
difficult thing in the beginning was trying to time out how long will this realistically
Yeah, I bet.
be?
This is why I wanted to ask.
Just to-
'cause
Yeah.
if you had gone again, and it's not a down thing. I didn't go to college either, but that is a difficult portion of it. Is planning out how these days are going to go. What was your call sheet like?
Well,
did you have a call
we
sheet,
had
or
a
was it
call
like a
sheet.
notebook with
Yeah.
stuff?
That was Squirrels. Crows, we had a call sheet. I did the schedule for all 3 days, and I was scripty on that one, and a scripty and producer, so I was kind of juggling a lot, and and first AD. So I was also running the schedule.
That's a trio.
Yeah, I know. It was it was mostly scripty, and I wouldn't do that again. And I don't.
That one
yeah.
I wouldn't recommend.
No, it was
That's
not a
lot.
good time, and it compounded to all the issues we had. And so I mean, we got it done, but like we were shooting constantly. And then the last day was the day with 30 extras.
Yep.
And thank God it was a half day because I went to bed at like 6 p.m. and I woke up at like 6 p.m. Like I was like out, like I couldn't move for like a full day. Wow. Like it was, and then the edit.
I have a tendency to be like that too. On set, I don't sleep during a shoot, which is very unhealthy. I know, but
I have terrible time sleeping.
Can't sleep. Not in like an anxiety way. I just don't sleep. Like it's whatever.
Way.
Like I don't. This might be TMI. I don't know. I don't go to the bathroom when I'm on set. Like,
you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like I'll get to set and I'm like, I have so much work to do, and the first thing I do when people are like, all right, and then we're wrapped for the day, I'm like I gotta pee really bad.
Right,
Like
yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
go
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And it's like 13, 14 hours later, you know, which is not healthy, but whatever. It is what it is. What is, and specifically on set, so it can't be like at the premiere or whenever at the cast party when everybody's excited. What's been the best or most rewarding moment since you started Seapoint Studios?
There's been a
That's
lot.
a good place to end.
It's
right?
hard to pick
Best
one.
moment. I know, but and it could be something very small. I don't want you to overthink it. Like it was like the time when 300 people were like, "It's the best movie ever." Like something where you're like, "Oh, this is such a moment." Like
I have an answer. I have an answer. Do you have one?
No, go ahead.
Okay. This was. It's hard for me to pick one on during production, but because I work in post production a lot more than I do production.
Yeah.
For a film, there was a moment during the edit of Penny, which we had on Penny. I had handed it off to another editor. I didn't want to be the one to edit that one.
Sure.
And then Rachel wasn't really happy. Not to like blame the original editor.
Listen. Things happen. People have opinions. It
He-
doesn't mean you don't like them anymore.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's just stuff happens. Yeah.
And I was like, I came off of Penny, and I was like, Penny was a really weird film, like on paper. It really came together in the edit, though. And for me, like the biggest moment I think in my editing career was when we were doing the scene. If you watch it, you'll know there's these recurring date nights that she invites a date over, and there's this problem where we have. She's inviting these guys over to her house, and we have these same scenes over and over again, these dates. And I'm like, this is not working. Like, we can't have date back to back with date back to back to date. And I'm like, trying to get it to work. And we're filming, I was editing, and I had this like epiphany, this like revelation. I was like, what if all the dates are happening at the same time? What if we cross-cut the dates? Normally, you cross-cut two scenes that are happening like simultaneously in different locations. I'm like, what if instead we reversed it? What if we had a scene that is happening 2 different times in the same location? And then I put a nice music track on it, and it became this moment where you're seeing
it's so cool.
the
I can
two.
like follow you as you're doing it. Yeah,
and so
that's cool.
And there was this problem with the camera work was weird. It was like on this dolly going back and forth, and I didn't love it. And I was like, but I'm like, okay, let's lean into it. Let's make it weird. And so like let's do the dolly shot, and then we cut to the other date, and we're moving the dolly shot on the other date. And I'm like, whoa, that works really well. And this was Brian. This was one of his scenes. And so and it became this moment where we see one. We got like similar shots between the dates, so we got one, and then I cut to the other, and it was perfect because the lead actress and the actors, they were on opposite sides in the other shot, so it was like this power dynamic that kept switching.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite scene I've ever edited, and what was crazy to me is that during the premieres, everyone started laughing, and I was like, "What? This is funny." And it was this moment where I realized, like, oh my God, it is funny.
Yeah.
Like the way that it cut together made people laugh. And I've been obsessed with that ever since.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's why I'm making this movie now, because I want to make people laugh more. And I want to get that feeling more. Because all of Rachel's films are very dramatic. They're very intense. They're very ethereal. And it was the perfect comic relief, I guess is the way to say it. Or like this, the perfect moment. Yeah, levity. And that was my favorite time, I'd say, encompassing one particular film.
That's cool.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got one? Give me something.
Oh, man.
So I think for me,
This is the closer.
it was when we did, I suppose, you know what? So when we did our commercial for the Gaslight, that was, I mean, I don't think we hired out anything. We did everything with like
Us
people
and
that
our
we
friends,
knew, and
yeah.
it was us and friends. And it was something that, you know, we had this great group of friends at the time that we made it with, but like, you know, years prior to that, Jacob and I just like screwing around with cameras and like thinking about it of how this thing that we never like went into shooting dumb videos and projects
Yeah.
for school with the
Right.
idea that like we want to turn this into some big thing, right? It was just, we were just having fun, and that's what it was.
Sure.
And we kind of went head first into making this commercial, and we pulled in everybody we could, and we did a really good job. It still stands up now.
Yeah.
And
Plays,
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
And it was just like a holy crap. We made something that wasn't for us necessarily. Like
Right.
we were
It wasn't a
making this-
goofy, fun project.
Right. Like we are selling this to somebody.
Right.
Somebody's willingly paying us, and it was
Very
I mean,
validating, I'm sure.
It was extremely validating. It was, I mean, it was certainly difficult and like somewhat stressful at times, but it was extremely fun. It was like, oh my God, like you can,
Enjoy your work.
right.
Yeah.
Like you can just have
See
fun,
it.
and then,
yeah. You created this from nothing.
right. We came up with
Yeah.
And-
everything.
A third party sees enough value in it to
Right.
give you money for it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's really a cool thing.
It was very validating. It felt just incredible. And I think like that really gave me a push to be like, well, we can actually do something with this.
There
It's
it
not
is.
just like, you know, this little side gig
Right.
thing. Like this is a real thing that
That's
we can
awesome.
do. And yeah, I think that was like,
That was the hook.
that was the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's cool. Well,
Yeah.
Jacob, John, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick.
You're
Thank
welcome
you, Nick.
anytime. I hope we get to work together in the
Yeah.
future. That'd be sick.
I would love
Absolutely.
to have another chat with you after the Second Bird premieres, so I can
yeah.
more better explain everything, because there's just this giant.
You're
like,
always
yeah.
welcome to come back.
Yeah.
Every time you guys have
Thank
a
you.
movie come out, come on back.
Oh
It'd be
yeah,
great.
let's do it.
yeah.
You know?
Make it a
Be
regular
awesome.
thing.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Wonderful.
Easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.